code, it's pretty easy. Lamentations, Rabbah, which are the compilations about the prophetic, the Hebrew book of Lamentations. The big ones are Genesis Rabbah, Lamentations Rabbah, Deuteronomy Rabbah. And here you have to dig to find the traditions and the parables. And another one is Song of Songs Rabbah. And Ecclesiastes Rabbah. Okay, with all those sources, you'll find everything you need. You'll find everything you need. You don't have to read the whole of the Talmud. Those are the main books. If there's anything else that pops up occasionally, there'll be a footnote about it.
What's the last one you wrote down?
Ecclesiastes Rabbah. So where do you find them? Look under Midrash in the library. Okay, that should fill in all that for you, right? I'm trying to impart to you everything I know. So I hope that it'll be of some use to you, because no one ever told me about any of these things, I can assure you. I didn't learn any of this in a class. Okay, so John. So we have the only begotten Son we did in line 18. Are you Elijah the prophet? He says no in line 1. I'm just going to skip through to get to where I want to get.
John, what was the John?
121.
121.
Then the disciples come to him at the end of 1. It's different. We had the introduction, the Neoplatonic introduction. And then this new character, Nathanael, who is not mentioned in any of the other compilations of apostles in line 45. And Nathanael knows who Jesus is from Nazareth, he says. And so Nathanael comes and sees him, and Jesus is sitting under a fig tree, I think. And then Philip comes running for some reason. Nathanael calls him Rabbi, which is really shows an intimate but late knowledge of Palestine. You are king of Israel. He's the one who identifies him as Son of God and King of Israel. And then Jesus has a retort to him. Anyway, after that, chapter 2, I think, by the way, Nathanael is a representative of James and John. That's not provable thing, but I give reasons in my James and Brother Jesus book. I don't have time to go through them all here. Got to move along. Nathanael means given by God. It could be a code name. Natan El. Natan is given, El is God. You see, you think I know something. But you see, it's just because in the land of the blind, the one-eyed is king. So when you're in a world of people who know less, let's say, about certain things, and you'll be in that world when you leave here, then you'll be the king. It doesn't mean you know everything. You just know a little more than the other person knows. So that's the value of knowledge. You can really achieve a lot by having a little more knowledge than someone else, because then they're in awe of you. So it pays you. That's why you came to college, to assert your rank in society. Don't end up a street sweeper. Not that there's anything dishonorable about street sweeping. You didn't get to college to be a street sweeper. Anyway, you didn't put 4 years in here to do that. Anyway, so the third day there was a marriage in Cana of Galilee. I love that, Cana of Galilee. Cana is the word in Hebrew for Canaanians, the Zealots, Kanai Elohim. And whether that's real or symbolic, whether there actually was a Cana of Galilee, you have to look in your Josephus and make sure of the location of this place. But anything, I do think here it's symbolic. Canaim are the Zealots. Why do they call them Zealots from Cana? Kana Elohim, zeal, envy. It's in Elijah. He's the first one to use that. Elijah was zealous, jealous for God. Zealous and jealous are the same words in the Maccabee books and so on. Galilee either relates to Galilee, the location, or Galileans, the group that follow these revolutionary leaders who mostly come out of Galilee. So I think that's a beautiful one. And this is the first signs episode, you see, that Jesus does the signs. Where he, instead of like in the multiplying loaves and the fishes, here he fills water pots. And notice the Gentile authorship here, line 6. 6 stone water pots were there, placed according to the cleansing laws of the Jews. Nobody who was Jewish would write that like that. That's a Greek writing that. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. In other words, the people writing this already see the Jews as alien people. I thought this was supposed to be the Lord's own people writing this material. I thought the Lord was supposed to be Jewish. This is, in fact, somewhat anti-Semitic always, in the sense that you get the note that the person doesn't like them. You get the feeling that they may not be overtly expressed all the time. I'm not blaming Christianity for this. I'm not blaming Jesus for this. I blame the authors of these documents, and they may not even be aware of it. Suppose someone in Nero's court were writing these materials. He would just be expressing himself like this way, the way that jerk yesterday reacted to the ribbing he was taking in the comedy act, and started to lose, show some of what maybe was really in his mind, but may not even been aware it was in his mind. Anyway, look at, he fills the water pots, line 7, and they were filled to the rim. Watch, fill, because it goes back to Ben Kalba Sablua material. Everybody's being filled here. The room will be filled with perfume. The poor man called Luke is longing to be filled. The dogs are under the table, longing to be filled. Jesus fills the water pot. So does Noctimon, fills the cisterns. Here are the parallels. This is what I'm working on in my New Testament code. It's not easy to do. I'm sure I'll be criticizing people for people who can't understand and don't get it, but I think it's there's things that it's there. Here's the master at the feast and so on. I can't read it all. And then these, line 11, are the beginning of the signs Jesus did in Cana of Galilee, revealing his glory, and his disciples believed on him. His Pauline disciples believed. That's a Paulinistic coat there. They said, Eisenman, what's this? Where's the struggle of Jesus? I'm not. You find him. I'm doing what I can with the material, and if you find historicity underlying it, then we'll